How you guys doing this evening? Okay, we're talking a little Sacramento real estate. If you're thinking about maybe making the move to the Sacramento area, or you're thinking about selling your house, this is the show you come to get you kind of like you're knowing what's happening the minute it's happening, all that kind of fun stuff. We do this in real time so you guys have an accurate assessment of the Sacramento real estate market. Okay, let's get into it right now. We're seeing rates drop, which is something a lot of people have anticipated, and we'll get into that a little bit. A lot of people are thinking like, prices are dropping, rates dropping, what's going on? These two things should be happening at the same time. Here's my thought on this, right? I do think prices are, right now you're seeing a lot of sellers who are like, look, the summer is coming to an end right now. People are going to start worrying more about schools and last vacations. So let's actually, reduce and sell, or let's just put them off the market. So I think you're seeing some reductions hitting the market, but I think it's people that might have been listing a little too high to begin with. I don't know if you're necessarily seeing price drops or slashes or, oh my God, it just doesn't make sense. Rates drop, buyer demand's increasing, prices should start to go up. Now, I do think that there is a magic number. I do think that there is a number. We haven't hit it yet because it's still a little slow out there. It's not super packed, super crazy. It's slow. And, right about this time, like I said, people are gearing up for their last vacation, or they're like done. They're like, I'm done. Summertime's over. I'm good. I'm going to pack it up, kind of get ready to go. I'm not making the move. So I do think the people that we see from the Bay Area that have been out here kind of looking, they might be still, maybe if something, interest rates start to go down, they might jump back in and demand buys start popping up. But I think you're going to see a lot of this low interest rate stuff happening. And I think it's going to spur our Sacramento residents who are thinking about doing an upgrade when all of a sudden interest rates start going lower, and they might. So I don't know. But if you see right now, prices and rates dropping at the same time, I think it's a little bit of like I don't think that's happening. I just think that right now, a lot of people are still loving their 2.75. They're really not in a huge rush to sell their home. And they're saying, worst comes to worst, I stay in my house. I got a 2.75. Maybe I don't have that extra bedroom, extra space, but I got a great rate. And rates just aren't low enough for me to get really serious about selling my house. So I think that that's what we're seeing. All right, Wendy, how are you doing? My Gold River buddy. Hey, Mark, do you think mortgage rates will improve after the election? It's a crazy thing. I think that I don't like to speculate too much about that stuff. Just because if you saw last year, a lot of people were guessing about rates and everything too. And everyone was, oh, rates are going down, rates are going up. And no one was right. I mean, everyone was getting butchered as far as like their opinions on it. I think the thing that's going to be a little dangerous for most people right now is because we're seeing rates drop. A lot of people I think are, and I think this is why it's been a little slow, is people are saying rates have started to drop. How far will they go? Like, I'm ready for them to go. I think they're going to go lower. I keep hearing people say they're going to go lower, so I'm just going to wait. I'm not ready just yet. I don't know. And like I said, we're very transparent on this channel. I'm very transparent on this channel. I don't know where rates are going to go. A lot of people are thinking that they will go lower. I still think that, it's too early on to guess what's going to happen, especially with an election year. I mean, there's so much, stuff happening with the election right now. We don't know. I mean, it's just kind of what it is. So I think that like for these people, for the rates right now that are dropping, I think, it's kind of funny because a lot of the California Dream for All people are jumping in and taking advantage of it with the rates dropping as well too. I would say, like I say on this channel always, time your life, don't time the market. Don't kind of figure out or try to guesstimate what the rates are going to be like in 2 months, 6 months, a year. You might win. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there have been people that have won using the whole, let me see when rates are going to drop thing. But I always say to myself this, I'd rather be that person that looked at my life and said, you know what, I need a house. This is the payment I'm looking for, and this is the house I'm willing to buy. And then when rates drop, I'm not going to be in the craziness of people kind of jumping in and trying to buy a house, and then I'm just going to refi. I like that a whole lot better. I like the idea of timing your life, not the market. And then later on down the road, let's say, for example, we're in the 5s, refi. You don't have to deal with the craziness, because there is going to be this number where all of a sudden demand is going to just get people going. I mean, there is that number. We haven't hit it just yet, right? People are still kind of seeing like rates drop a little bit, and people are wondering how low can you go? And I mean, we're seeing this. Look at this right here. We're seeing a nice little drop right here. Boom. And people are wondering. And I know a lot of people on this channel too, watch this channel, are thinking to themselves, how low can you go? And a lot of people feel like, based on like all the media out there, all the people kind of guesstimating, it could go lower. And for me, Again, I do think that it's just a basic concept of supply and demand. I think if interest rates go down, you're going to just see like a lot of demand coming out to buy. You got to understand there's so many people that we talk to almost on a daily basis that are on that fence. They're on the proverbial fence where they say like, the rate isn't low enough for me to either jump in the market or buy the house I want in the market, and I'm okay. I'm going to relax. Once that rate hits to some sort of point, and I don't know if that's 6.5 or whatever, if it goes out low, like you're going to see a lot of people that are saying, you know what, I know we're planning for the holidays, but I think at this point rates are low and we got to jump in while we can. People are going to have that kind of fear that we're going to go back up to 7s, and we could. So I think that that's kind of what we're seeing. So I would just say, don't try to time and just don't try to say, hey, how low is it going to go, and wait for that one perfect moment where it's as low as possible going. And no one knows. No one knows. And if you talk to a lender, you talk to a realtor, and they're telling you, oh, rates are going lower or whatever, nobody knows. And if you look last year at all the videos that were out there, everybody was wrong. Everyone that I even like and I watch, they were wrong. Barry Habib, wrong. All the top people who were guessing interest rates were just wrong. And so for me, I get it. Interest rates are down a little bit, and they seem to be kind of going down a little bit. How low will they go? But I would say at minimal, start getting your education on what you want. Start seeing like the inventory out there, and if the houses are actually there that you want to buy. I mean, what if you wait for a 6.5 and then you're ready to jump in the market and you realize that there is nothing out there for you to buy? I have friends who are in that position. I've got Nikki right now who says like, I'm ready to go, but I'm just not seeing what I want to see on the market. Aaron the same way. Both of them are looking and they're not seeing the inventory that they want. And so it's a tough market to kind of be in right now. And I would say if you wait for the rate and you're not doing your education part and you're not seeing the communities, neighborhoods, and what you actually want in the house, and try to take this time to do your research and your education, when the rates get, let's say at 6.5, you might not be ready to jump in. So I guess my main thing for everyone now is, don't just feel because you're looking at houses or you're educated, you should buy right this second. Educating yourself in the market, in our Sacramento real estate market, is so needed because we have such a complex market, right? We have areas like in Placer, Sacramento, some SMUD, some PG&E, Roosevelt Electric. We have also like the schools, whichever schools you want to be on. We have different lifestyle communities. We have golf communities. We got man-made lakes. We got areas that are close to mountain biking. We have all sorts of different communities. So if you just kind of think to yourself, you know what, I'm just going to buy something when it's 6.5, I'm looking for a 4 and 2. Guys, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many different areas in Sacramento. And I know this firsthand because when I made the move up from the Bay Area a long, long time ago, I was assuming I just want a house. I'm not really that worried about it. And then it got really, really one of those things where I started discovering the areas, the communities, what kind of home did I want? Single story, 2-story, what kind of community, what kind of schools, what things matter to me, how close I want to be close to shopping, work, all that stuff too. So do yourselves a favor right now. And as you're watching interest rates tick down, do the education piece of your buy and figure out exactly what that looks like. And, I think that that's the biggest advice I can give everyone. Now, as far as houses going down, I would just say make sure that you're working with a good realtor that kind of knows the areas, price points and everything too. And this is completely transparent with you. Right now, what you're going to notice is that I do think with all this stuff happening with NAR, I think the bar is going to be raised up, and I think realtors are going to be a little bit I think the cream of the crop is going to just last in the real estate industry. And so I do think that right now, just be very, very cognizant of the real estate professional you're working with. At this point in time in this market where interest rates are going down and house prices, you don't really know if they're a deal, if they're overpriced and then they're reduced. Knowing a realtor and talking to a realtor about how many deals you've done, what's your production, how long have you been in the industry, that kind of stuff is becoming more and more important in our industry. And so just make sure that before you work with someone, a realtor, just make sure that you figure out how long they've been in business, how many sales they do, their price points, their areas, and everything too. Just do that like a job interview, and I think you will be a lot safer down the road. Because like I said, this market's a tough one. A lot of people are seeing it go down, the interest rates, and a lot of people are maybe thinking about jumping in, and they're just not really sure where to jump in. So just work with someone, vet them, figure that out. And I think all this stuff with the NAR thing, and I'll mention it just briefly, I think though it's going to raise the bar in real estate. And I think that that's needed. That's been needed a long, long time. And I think what you're going to notice is the people who are meant to be realtors and in this industry take it seriously, value relationships. I think those people are going to be around. And I think the people who were just kind of jumping into the real estate because they heard the paychecks were good, I think those people might be a little out of business. So it's going to be an interesting ride either way. All right, let's go to this one. Now, okay, as we see here, first of all, interest rates are going down. Look at that. 6.7 for some people. Now, I'm saying this is not your interest rate based on credit, different loans and everything too. But as you can see, we're trending down, which is good for a lot of people. So I'm happy for that. Now, over here, we're seeing homes with price increases. Now, as you see it right now, it's kind of dipping a little bit. It's going down low. So you're seeing some reductions hit the market. Properties with price increases. Sorry about that. We're seeing price increases go down. I have not had enough coffee, and I apologize. I just got back from Legoland yesterday, so I'm a little wiped. But okay, if you see right here, you can see properties with price increases kind of go down a little bit. So we're seeing a lot more decreases, as you can see right here, than increases. And this is where a lot of people are thinking, oh my God, rates are going down, price decreases are coming in, are happening. Now, I would say though, before you get all excited and go, oh my God, prices are dropping, I cannot wait till they hit the bottom. I would say a lot of these houses were sellers who had 2.75s were like, you know what, my house might be worth $850. I want to sell it for $1 million. If you can get me it. They went to $1 million. And at the end of the day, at the end of summer right now, this is our last big hurrah if they were going to sell their house. They probably reduced to maybe 900 and saw if they could get that or not. So don't let these numbers fool you too much. I would say the decreases are coming from houses that might have been overvalued to begin with. Now, right over here, medium list price. Okay, it's dipping too. I think right now also what we're seeing in our market is that we're seeing more realistic list houses being listed at a more realistic price. One of the things that I was talking about on this channel a lot is that I think a lot of people, since they had 2.75s, a lot of people were listing homes, crossing their fingers and listing high. I think we are going to hit a market for the most part of people that are going to list a little bit more realistically, which is really, really good. Because I do think some of these sellers that were there were like, I got a 2.75. If you can get me $1 million, great. If not, I'm just going to take it off. I'm good with my house. So it'll be interesting, but I think the new market that's coming right now, the end of this year, we're going to see a little bit more realistic list prices. And don't be fooled. That's not price decreases. That's just actually realistic list prices, which is a lot different. All right, over here we have inventory, and inventory is picking up. I do think what I've been seeing, with a lot of people have been seeing, it's not brand new inventory. You're not going to see Friday and all of a sudden it's a packed house. What you are going to see though is a lot of the inventory that has been sitting is going to continue to sit. And all of a sudden, there's going to be there's going to be a conversation between a listing agent and a seller, and it's going to be like either we reduce or we got to take the house off the market. That's the conversation. And I do think that a lot of sellers, are probably going to start pulling their houses off the market and probably call it a day and relist in spring. I mean, it's kind of a good strategic position, especially if rates decrease. I mean, think about this. You're listing your house for $1 million. Maybe it's worth $850. So you say to yourself, I got a low interest rate, like 2.75. Okay. So do I decrease my house and try to sell it now? Or do I kind of wait till maybe spring? I'm going to guess maybe interest rates might be down, demand is up, and all of a sudden I have a new buyer pool, and maybe I can get close to my $1 million. So it will be interesting to see what it all brings. But yeah, you are seeing inventory, and it is piling up, but there's not a lot of new inventory in the market as well too. Gold River, where I live, oh man, it has been the drought of all droughts around here. And it's been either droughts or overpriced houses in Gold River. So that's kind of what I've been seeing here, except for a listing that we actually listed, which we actually listed it in a great spot. One of the things that we've been doing as well too, is we've been kind of like figuring out the market a little bit as far as what we should be listing at, and our realism in our pricing seems to be working. So it's pretty good. Elk Grove flew off the shelf. Where was the other one? Then we got Lincoln that did the same too. Hopefully Gold River does well too. So shameless plug, if you guys are thinking about listing your home, guys, eight houses sold with YouTube videos. So we'd love you to be number 9. Reach out to our team. We'd love to talk to you a little bit about listing your home with us. Our marketing is second to none. We use this channel to get you those Bay Area buyers and a lot of eyeballs on your homes that other realtors and other teams in the areas don't have. All right, that's it. Shameless plug done. Let's go to the next. All right, so here's we go. Median home price in Sacramento County is $520. Number of homes sold has decreased. Look at that. Oof. Okay. Now since last year, median days on the market increased. All right. So this is kind of what our market snapshot looks like. Like I said, I think interest rates right now, if they continue to decrease, you're going to see eventually that number that all of a sudden is going to bring people back into the market. This is going to be very interesting for one reason alone in our market is what are new homes going to do? Because once all of a sudden interest rates drop, new home incentives, even though there are going to be some, they're going to be less. Like a lot of my clients, for example, want resale, but interest rates, the buy down is really, really enticing and they can qualify for what they want. If interest rates drop a little bit, do new homes still become, or are they still that popular? Are they going to compete even further and go even more on incentives? So it's going to be an interesting market come later this year. New homes definitely, as interest rates go down, new homes definitely need to do something to keep the interest alive in the new home sector. They've got to probably increase incentives. So it's going to be an interesting thing. And I think right now what I'm seeing is that new homes are reaching out to me more than normal. I think we're seeing some summer blowout sales like Beezer over at the Wild Hawk area. I think we are seeing right now a lot of new home communities reaching out to realtors more than ever. So I do think that end of summer, it's a little slow for new homes. Towards the end of this year, if they build like they do, you could see some good deals on the market for new homes. So just be aware, keep in tune with new homes. They're the easiest things to predict because all you need to do is gauge their incentives. And if they're offering bigger incentives, that means the community is hurting and you can even get even more of a deal. If their incentives start going away, that means they're selling really, really hot. And that's what you should be aware of. So that's kind of one of the things you should be kind of keep in mind. All right. Yeah, like I said, there's a number that's going to be hitting. And, if the number hits, if we get below 6.5 or if we get in the fives for interest rates, you could just see demand go crazy in our market. And house prices could go up. So just be aware of that. And like I said, guys, it's going to be an interesting war between new homes and resale. I don't know who's going to win. What do you guys like? Do you guys like new homes or do you guys like resale? Okay. Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this broadcast, guys, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that like button, subscribe, share the video, and all that kind of fun stuff. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so a lot of the people also who are moving in the Sacramento area don't realize that there are districts in Sacramento that we have old houses, old homes, and everything too. If you're someone who's wanted a basement, you want something like a colonial, you want Victorian, Edwardian, all those type of buildings. We do have select areas in the Sacramento area where you can get some older homes. A lot of our homes right now are tract homes just because they're being built and our communities are growing, but we do have areas that have been maintained, like the Land Park area, East Sacramento area too, that have older homes. A lot of people love those for the character, and so we have those just for you guys. All right, next one. Boom. California governor signs executive order to boost infill housing developments on vacant lots. So this is a crazy one. Sacramento, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced on Wednesday that he has signed an executive order that aims to jumpstart infill housing development projects. The executive order was coupled with $94 million awarded to 15 counties to also support building on infill sites. Newsom's action comes as part of California push to build 2.5 million new homes by 2030. So the push for new homes, and I think Sacramento is a part of this as well too, is going to be nuts. I think you're going to see more new communities. I think areas are going to develop. Areas like Lincoln have only started. I think Elk Grove is going to be popping even more. West Roseville, West Sacramento, Folsom, El Dorado Hills. There's going to be a lot of new home building. So I don't know, man. Just keep it going. If you like new homes, I don't think we're going to be short on new homes anytime soon. Okay, so as everyone has noticed, if you live in Sacramento, we are in kind of like the wildfire season. What this is probably going to do to homeowners insurance is probably definitely going to affect it. So I would say whoever is running your homeowners insurance, just keep tabs with them and see if you're impacted. It's better to know sooner than later. Boom. All right, Rundown Sunrise Mall. If you are someone who lives in Citrus Heights, if you're someone who lives in Rancho, you've seen this ginormous mall. Usually it has a weird kind of fair once a year as well too. They're going to be revamping that mall as well too. You're seeing some of the older structures in the malls get kind of revamped for all the influx of people that are moving in the area. So it's kind of nice. I think a lot of these areas that great locations, great kind of like back in the day, are getting like a little bit of like a boost and rejuvenated. And it's going to be interesting to see how what they do for this one, because this thing has been sitting dormant for a while. Some stores, yes, but just dormant, and it's a shame. All right. Sacramento mayor spearheads ambitious waterfront revitalization plan amid local concerns. Guys, this waterfront area, West Sacramento, the Riverwalk area, I cannot wait for something to happen on the water around here near downtown. I think this area could be so amazingly nice. In West Sacramento now, you're seeing like $1 million houses on the water being built, custom homes. This area downtown is going to just go crazy. So if you're someone who's always wanted to kind of live by the water, West Sacramento, this whole area, I'm super excited, because one of the things a lot of people don't know about Sacramento is, yes, we have Folsom Lake, but we have the Sacramento River, we have American River, and some of this area is being developed right now to create like new, custom homes and just kind of a new shopping, commercial, kind of like areas where that you can enjoy when you move to the Sacramento area. So I love the idea right now that because of the growth in Sacramento, areas are being developed for you guys, for entertainment, for the family. I love it. All right. Sharky, what is easier to get a home, resale or new construction? It's been a pain. Yeah, I mean, I would say still right now you're talking about new homes. New homes are still it. I'd say as far as resale homes, what I've been seeing on the market is a lot of resale homes on the market. They just throw them on the market. I'm seeing a lot of homes that aren't maintained, aren't taken care of, and they're just kind of thrown on the market. I would say the new home communities right now, yes, they're denser than resale homes, but at the same time, I just put in an amazing couple into a house in Folsom Ranch. Their backyard must be at least like 35 to 40 feet deep. They could definitely put a pool in it. It's a tri-point home, Lariat, under $700,000. And it was just like they walked in the office, they chose a house, and boom, they're closing in a week. So new homes, if it's been kind of a pain, I still like new construction at this point. Now, when interest rates are going lower and lower and lower, if we get additional inventory hitting the market, that could change. But as right now, if I was someone who's looking to buy a home, I would definitely look at both. I'd definitely look at resale. I'd look at new. But I will say, though, new homes are an easier kind of thing to deal with right now. They offer the buy down, so they can, LGI in Lincoln is offering like 3.99 interest rates, which is just insane as well, too. So they're giving you some buy down so that, let's say, for example, you go to a lender and you get pre-qualified for $500,000, right? You're like, 500 is what I got. My monthly payment at 500, let's say it's $4,000 a month. Okay, maybe you got like a 6.7 interest rate. So let's say you go to one of these new home builders and they get you a rate buy down and you're down to like 5.5. I mean, your monthly is going to be drastically lower and you can buy actually more house. So I do like the new homes for that. But I would definitely do the Pepsi challenge. Go take a look at some new homes, go take a look at some resale homes, and it'll come to you, right? It's hard though. Don't get me wrong. Once you go to the new homes and you see all those pretty homes and then you go see the resale stuff, it's hard, I would say if you are looking for the resale homes and you are going to new homes and you're doing both, try to keep the resale homes to maybe like a 5 or 10 year or like a complete gut remodel down to the, I would say do that because it's hard. It's hard for you to like go and take a look at like a Taylor Morrison open like concept, nice backyard, great finishes, model home, and then you go and see something that's maybe like built in the 80s, remodeled, low ceilings and everything too. So I would say, Sharky, do a little bit of both. But at this moment in time, I think new homes they're just making it way too easy and they're really, really dominant in our area. What do you got? You got Beezer over in the Vineyard area. You got Taylor over there. Elk Grove's got Woodside. Tim Lewis, Richmond American, Lennar. You got everyone building everywhere. So you got competition. You got them fighting for your kind of like, they're fighting for you right now because it's a little slower. And I've been seeing a lot of good builder incentives. So I would say do both. But I would say as far as ease, I think new homes are right now a lot easier to jump into than a resale home that makes you go, wow, that house blew me away. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Hopefully that helps. Like I said, guys, I'm always available for a phone call. You can even call in anonymous. Feel free to give me a call too. We can talk a little bit about it. We're out all the time too. My team and I, we're always out and about checking out new home communities. We have a tour scheduled for Saturday where we're going to be going to the Vineyard area. Then we're going to Anatolia. We're always out and about. So like, for example, this morning I was in Folsom, then Gold River, then I was in Roseville, then I was in East Sacramento, then I'm back here. We have a very active team and we cover a lot of areas as well too. So if you're someone who's looking for like a new home and you're just not sure exactly what community, what development, what city, what area, we have sold in almost every single community and area in the Sacramento area. So there might be communities and areas you hadn't even considered, and we'd be more than happy to educate you about that. Okay, so boom, waterfront. Nice. Folsom Ranch rally against cell towers. Guys, I'm telling you, if you're someone who lives in Folsom Ranch, keep very, very in tune at all the ordinances, all the stuff that they're building around Folsom Ranch. Be very, very cognizant of everything that's going on in Folsom Ranch. You might just think, oh yeah, I got a great home. We got a great place to bring the kids, parks and everything too. But I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of weird stuff happening in the Folsom Ranch area, a lot of building, a lot of commercial, a lot of all that stuff too. I'm just going to tell you that do not let this stuff get out of control for your own benefit. Keep in tune with all the stuff that's happening there and make sure that they don't put in stuff that you guys don't want it. You guys paid a pretty penny for your houses in Folsom Ranch. Make sure you keep it nice. All right. Bay Area summers. Let's get into some comments and questions. Bay Area summers are getting hotter and hotter. 70 isn't even hot. I'm in Oregon. You know, the funny thing for me for Oregon is I never knew that Oregon got up to 98 or 100. I knew it was very overcast in Oregon when the limited times I've been there, but it just wasn't really, I never knew it got up to 100 degrees in Oregon. I know. I just haven't been there during the heat. People are leaving the Bay Area because they can't afford to buy and don't want. Can't afford to buy and don't want to rent. It cost me less money to buy or own a home in Sacramento than when I rented a crappy one-bedroom apartment 10 years ago. That's why people are coming to Sacramento. You know, the funny thing is I have a lot of clients who were renting in the Bay Area. They love the Bay Area, but they've already given up on the idea of home ownership. And so they buy their first home in the Sacramento area because first-time home buyers, you have that lower interest rate. They buy their first investment home out here. They've given up. They're like, I love the Bay Area. My friends are here. I'm having fun here, but I really want to buy a home. And so they do it in Sacramento, and they usually have that as their first investment property. For me, I grew up in Marin County. A majority of a lot of my friends who still live there are renters. We got priced out of our own market. It's something that's actually happening here a little bit in Sacramento as well too, but it's a horrible thing. So I would say for you people out in the Bay Area, you're looking at Sacramento and saying to yourself, I don't know about Sacramento. I would say give it about a weekend. Come out here, take a look at some fun stuff here. My team would love to take you for a tour. We've taken so many people that were like, about Sacramento to in love with Sacramento over a weekend. It would just blow you away. So I would say if you're someone who's dreamt about home ownership, you want a big house for your family, you're thinking, it shouldn't be a problem if I do my transfer to Sacramento or even if I work on Zoom, give Sacramento a shot. I did, and there's no other place I'd rather live. So that's my plug on Sacramento. Boom. People are moving to Sacramento for the job market. Music to my ears, long-term real estate, a great investment. Like I said, guys, I think our market right now, especially with interest rates, I think real estate right now is a very long-term play. I think if you're someone who's looking to maybe buy something and in 3 years flip it and sell it, this isn't the market for you. I think this is a great market for primary home buyers or people who are looking to buy investment properties and are good with a good appreciation rate in certain areas, as long as you work with our team. I would say that's this market. So just kind of understand this. Like if you're thinking about maybe moving here, you're going to buy a home, you're going to do some renovations, you're going to be putting a pool, all that stuff. And 3 years from now, you want to sell it and make some money. I don't see it happening. I think we're going to be a little flat for a while. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Kathleen says, great deals out there now. Ooh, I like it. Okay, Kathleen, what do you think? Resale or new home deals? Because I'm seeing some new home deals right now that are just pretty cool. Like resale, I'm not seeing too much resale that like just blows me away. Like I'm like, oh my God. The ones that I do, maybe I see one every month or something. Those have like 20 offers because they're priced aggressively. But what are you seeing as far as when you say great deals? Are you talking like resale or are you talking new homes? Because new homes, I'm with you. I'm seeing a lot of good deals. And I think, and I'm, based on the emails, based on the incentives, I think there could be some really good pricing later on this year, especially if interest rates go down. I think it's going to be new. Oh, all right. You and I both. Yeah, new homes, man. New homes are going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, though. Interest rates, I think, are going to really impact new homes as well, too. I think you're seeing great deals. I think you're seeing great incentives right now. If interest rates continue to drop, I'm going to be curious to see if new homes are even more aggressive about their incentives and what the resale inventory looks like at that time. Because remember this, guys, also, if, for example, like interest rates go down, let's say to like 6%, right? All of a sudden, demand is going to flood the market. Prices should go up. Now, for me, I'm good with my interest rate, so I don't plan on selling anytime soon. But there could be some people who say, you know what, this could be the right time. I'm looking to sell. Now I got a whole big bunch of demand hitting the market, and maybe I'll throw my house on the market. So it'll be interesting to see if lowering interest rates to maybe around to 6%, let's say if that happens, if we're going to see some really nice inventory hit the market, which I do think at this point we've been kind of lacking. So it'll be interesting. And also the other thing too to be in tune for is we've had some wildfires happen as of late, Chico and whatnot. So I would say keep in tune with how homeowners insurance is being reflected in areas like Shingle Springs, El Dorado Hills, all the areas that we always mention on this channel for fire insurance. It'll be interesting to see how that affects pricing in those areas as well too. All right, next one, boom. Bay Area summers are getting hot. San Diego has the best weather. Guys, I just got back from Legoland. I was in San Diego, Carlsbad, and the weather was fabulous. I got to say, I can't disagree with that. Although I did miss my pool, I will say that. All right, next one. Who wins? Sacramento versus Placer County. Okay, so this was a huge debate. Oh my God. People were losing their minds over this one. Too much Melrose and HOAs in Placerville homes. This is an issue, plus too far from job centers and much higher prices. Okay, so I want to clear the air on this because this video, incited people like freaking out. I like the Placer area, right? Placerville is a little far out. I think fire insurance could be a little play into homes out there too. I like the Roseville area, the Rockland area. I like Folsom, and I like El Dorado Hills. I like all the areas. I think in Sacramento, like I said, I always tell this, I love our job diversity around here. I love our location. I love our ability to go to Tahoe. I love our affordability for California. I like everything about it. So for me, whether you buy in like a Roseville, a Rockland, a Folsom, or El Dorado Hills, I think you're going to end up winning. I like all these areas, and I think they're fantastic. I'd say though, and this is hopefully you get this from the video as well too. I think that a lot of people who have vision about what West Roseville is going to be are smart. I think they're buying at good price points. I think West Roseville is going to be built out. I think it's going to take a little more time than Folsom. Now, why is this, right? Yes, there is congestion in Folsom, but Folsom, right across the freeway, you got Costco, you got the Palladio. Now, if they were building all those new homes near the gallery and the fountains, which we don't have land for that, but if they were, it would be completely a different ballgame. But I do think a lot of people, when they go out to West Roseville, like let's say you come in from the Bay Area, they're not used to this, right? They're not used to the idea of being far out there. A lot of people who grew up in Sacramento understood that like Folsom back in the day was just, dirt out there. No one really went there. And Folsom transformed itself into an amazing area to live, and just be one of the premier areas around here to kind of buy a home. And so like a lot of people are seeing West Roseville as like that. Like West Roseville is going to grow, it's going to develop, and I think that for a lot of people who have maybe like grown up in the Sacramento area, they get it. I think a lot of people who grew up here are saying like Elk Grove used to be a cow town. There used to be nothing. Aaron grew up there, and he always tells me that too. It's like there's like nothing out here. And now look at Roseville or Elk Grove. Same thing with Roseville. Same thing with West Roseville right now. It's just going to take a little bit more imagination and vision. As you know, like I said, if you drive someone from the Bay Area into Folsom Ranch and all of a sudden you're saying to them, look, let's take a look at some new homes. After you're done, swing on over to the Palladio, to Mas Tacos, and grab some food over there and then just regroup a little bit. They're going to see all the shopping. Now, West Roseville, it's just a little further off. Both areas, like I said, I think they're great areas to buy in. They definitely have their pros and cons. I think in West Roseville, the bang for your buck is insane. And I think that, it's still a great bet. So hopefully you guys weren't put off like we were doing a versus thing. And that was my bad. I shouldn't put the versus. I think both spots are great to buy in. I think both have their pros and cons. But I do think our entire Sacramento metro area is on a growth spurt. And I think we've already seen monster appreciation. And I think, like I said, we're never on the bad list. We're always on the good list. So just be happy. And the funny thing is, it's always like Roseville or like Elk Grove on those lists as well too. So I think that kind of says a lot about our region. All right, let's go to some questions. Boom. All right, Juan, jumping in late. So sorry if this was already discussed. Question: at this point in the year, would you say buyers will have more leverage around the holidays towards the end of the year? Yeah, but here's the thing. I wouldn't say like, all right, you know what? I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to be back around November. I think this is a market that you have to keep your ear to the ground and figure it out. Like, let's say, for example, you're someone who's saying, I love Taylor Morrison, I love Madera Ranch, right? You got to be in tune with them. You've got to figure this out. You got to like stay in tune with the sales rep and go, hey, when's your next release? Gauge the price increases, gauge the incentives, and feel out the market. That's one of the things about this market. Like, a lot of people will go away and come back and all of a sudden expect there to be like an amazing market for the buyers. You have to really kind of put your ear on the ground and figure out when that moment of opportunity is for you, if you're trying to time the market, which I always say don't, but a lot of people do, which is cool. But I would say that for buyers toward the end of this year, if interest rates keep dropping, it could be a little brutal. Demand could be pushed back in the market. I just don't see rates dropping that much by the end of the year. I don't see it, and I could be totally wrong. I think, though, Juan, if you're looking for new homes, I think this could be a good move. I think just keep in tune. With the new homes, it's easy. They're so easy to read. It's all about like their incentives. If you go to a community, for example, and they're like, oh my God, we're offering you this, we're offering you that, we're offering you whatever you want, they're hurting. That means you can go in for the kill. That means those incentives they're giving you, even though they're amazing, that's just the tip of the iceberg. If you go into a community and they're like, oh man, we're every release, we're increasing by $5,000, and the floor plan you want, it's a hard one. We have a waiting list for that one. Those are the like really sought after communities. So they're easy to read. So I would say if you're looking for new homes, just keep in tune. Keep in contact with a sales rep. If you're working with a realtor, make your realtor earn their money, and have your realtor keep in tune with the company, and check in with your realtor once a week and go, hey, Mark, the Taylor Morrison, I like the Chloe over at Elk Grove. Have you seen any movement? Is there price reductions? How are the incentives doing and everything too? Like, keep your realtor on their toes. They should be earning their money. And so I would just say that. Don't go away. Don't disappear. But like, keep yourself informed. Figure out when the incentives look like and everything too. Now, as far as the resale market, if you're looking for resale, I do think maybe at the end of this year, you're going to see some houses that are still sitting, continue to sit. And I do think that some of the stuff that's been reduced, I'd say you probably have a little bit more of an advantage getting those things reduced even further. If you have a client, if you have a seller who reduces a little bit, or you get them to reduce, like, they're already kind of used to the idea that they're reducing, and they might already be thinking their house is overpriced. So I do think getting back to the point, I apologize for being long-winded on this one. I do think buyers, could have a great holiday season this year. Okay. I would say the things to be in tune for are the new home incentives, if they're giving more incentives or less. I would also say gauge the interest rates. And also, if you're looking at a specific community or area, see how long houses sell in a current market. See how price incentive, or how much, like, if you're going new homes, see how much, like, if let's say, for example, they're releasing 3 houses, if all of them increase in price, or if they're keeping the price the same. Normally what I find, like with Taylor Morrison sometimes, is they'll do increases almost in every single release. When they're really, really hurting, they do a release, no increase. that's when you kind of know you can go in for the kill. So hopefully that answered your question, Juan. And I'm sorry, like I said, I got back from Legoland last night, so I'm a little beat, but I'm doing the best I can. So give me a thumbs up if you're liking this broadcast so far. I'd really appreciate to know how I'm doing after crazy time to Legoland. Okay, I want a new home on 2.5 acres lot, new build under 1 million. Is that possible? Not a fan of small lots. Yeah. Totally possible, depending on where you want to go as well, too. I mean, what are you thinking? Okay, now here, Kathleen, here's where it gets interesting. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? What's the square footage on what you're looking like? And what area are you thinking? I think, could you do 1 million on a quarter acre? I think you could. I think you'd have to wait for a community like maybe that has an extra big lot. I would say if you're looking for 1 million and you're trying to go over maybe 3,000 square feet, it might be a little tough. If you're sticking around the 25-ish, 27-ish, I think you'd be okay. I would say areas like the Vineyard area. It's one of the Wild Hawks. They have like the same type of models they have in Elk Grove. And I know they have some oversized lots over there too. Not a lot of them, but a few. 4220. Oh yeah, all day long. Yeah, easily. And what areas, Kathleen, are you thinking about? Are you thinking about like Elk Grove? Are you thinking Folsom? Are you picky? Because if you're not picky, oh yeah. One of the floor plans I like is Richmond American builds this really amazing floor plan. Probably one of my favorite floor plans of all time, called the Seth. I love that floor plan. And they're selling it in Lincoln. Yeah, you can get that all day long on that. You just have to get a little bigger of a lot. You can definitely do that in Lincoln. I would say you could probably get that done in West Roseville. Who would I go to West Roseville? I'd probably go to Woodside. Not the one like the one that's named like it's named after like a winery and all the different houses are wines. The new one that just opened up. I think Woodside over there, you can do it for under $1 million. You'd have to though I'd have to talk to a friend of mine who works there, Chantal, and figure out if they have bigger lots, because I know they have some bigger lots over there at Woodside and West Roseville that you could definitely do it. Who else would I look at? Yeah, okay. So these were the ones I'd look at for what you're looking for specific. If I go Lincoln, I'd probably look, like I said, Richmond American, the Seth. Get it on a big lot. You'll love that house. I'd say Woodside in West Roseville. I would say Vineyard, Taylor Morrison, and one of the Wild Hawks. They have a bigger floor plan. I think those you'd be able to get underneath $1 million, and I think you'd have to get a quarter acre. Now, the thing that's interesting about the quarter acre lots is you'd have to get pre-approved and get on the wait list for them as well too. So, but yeah, definitely doable. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. I'm here for you guys too. Okay, boom, number, boom. All right, let's go to some more questions. Dun, dun, dun. Like I said before, and hopefully this ends it, like Placer County, Sacramento County, both amazing spots to live. Like I said, I don't think anyone who purchased in Placer and Sacramento County, especially the area in the Sacramento metro, is complaining. So I think we're good. About East Ridge Village. All right. All right, East Ridge. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up on my map. Hold on. Give me just one sec. Give me 1 second. I'll see if I can pull it up on the map. All right, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Sorry about that. I was not prepared for East Ridge, but I want to kind of show you guys where it's located. Dun, dun, dun. All right, it's not pulling up. Okay, so East Ridge, I'm not that familiar with East Ridge. We actually sold a house, Nikki and I sold a house close to there maybe about 7 months ago. I would say the only thing, like I said, any community that I would look at as far as in El Dorado Hills, just make sure you're talking to like someone like a Javier Ortiz about fire insurance. Are you thinking about buying a home in East Ridge? And apologies if I had a slow answer again. Legoland yesterday. Let me know what you are thinking about doing. Give me a little bit more details on East Ridge. Are you thinking about buying a home there? And Let me know also real quick that community. Let me see. I'm trying to pull it up on a map. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. All right. I might have to come back to you on that. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that in a comment when I'm done. I apologize for that. It's just I want to give you a little bit of an accurate answer. And I'm confusing Eastridge with a couple communities I know in El Dorado Hills. Sorry about that. All right. Give me a little bit more context if you can. All right. And like I said, guys, this is a live show, and sometimes this happens. All right, next one. Who just bought their first home in Sacramento area? This week marks 2 years since I bought my first home in Roseville. Best decision I ever made. Okay, there you go, Roseville. I'm guessing this is maybe a West Roseville home. Like I said, I like West Roseville. I think it's good. I think the price point is a lot more reasonable than a Folsom. I think it competes with Elk Grove as well, too. So I like West Roseville. All right. Rates are down. Bidding wars are back. A dozen offers on every home. Booyah. Not yet. Not yet. But I will say, though, this. We are waiting for that number, that magic number to hit. And once that does, I do think demand is going to go crazy. Now, if we go down on interest rates, that's the biggest question, because I don't know if we're going to go down. I don't know if we're going to go up. I don't know if we're going to stabilize. I still think that it's too early in the year for us to go lower, but you never know. We'll see. All right, just bought my second home in Antelope a couple years ago, an investment property. Antelope's a great spot, got to say. I love Antelope. I think it's a fantastic spot to live in. I think if you are thinking about if you're thinking about an area that's kind of like you're close to Roseville, but you feel a little bit priced out, I think Antelope is a nice little suburb of Roseville. I think it's central as well, too. So I like it. Yeah, I like it. Boom. All right, who wins, Sacramento versus Placer? Have you guys heard about Placer Ranch? 5,000 homes planned in the Sacramento State Sierra College Joint Campus planned. In West Park, Fittiman Farms, we have a brand new high school and 3 new elementary schools. It should be a big draw for people moving to the area. What is the commute like from Folsom to downtown looking like? It's already a bit congested as capacity, and its proximity to Sacramento International Airport, an advantage over Folsom. Like I said, I think one of the things about Folsom that worries me a little bit is East Bidwell. I think it is getting congested up there. I think the 50 is completely nuts. I've been driving down the 50 here and there, and it's just crazy, the road work they're doing. Hopefully that gets done quickly, because it is really they start work at nighttime, and hey, props to all the workers working on the roads, but it is brutal. Like I said, I think the West Park area, Fittiman Farms, I think all those areas in Roseville are great. I love the idea they're on Roseville Electric as well too. Like I said, the only thing that stands out, I would say Folsom is a known entity outside the Sacramento area. Roseville isn't as kind of known as Folsom. So that adds demand from people moving into the area. A lot of people call up and they're like, I want Folsom. And I'm like, have you ever thought of Roseville? They're like, I don't really know too much about Roseville. The other thing about Folsom, and the reason why it's such a big draw for people right now, is because of Palladio and everything is super close by. That's kind of one of the things that's pushing Folsom kind of over the edge as far as their building, people buying there and everything too. West Roseville, I think, like I said, it's a great spot. And I think a lot of people there are buying at great prices. And I think you're going to be happy in the future. I think that West Roseville area is going to pop. I think it's already popping. The only thing right now it needs something like a big kind of a commercial spot near there where they have something that compete maybe against the Palladio, something so they don't have to go all the way into maybe the gallery and the fountains for food, for shopping. So it's coming. It's coming to West Roseville. I just think it's going to be coming a little later. And where in Folsom, they're already building that, what's called a commercial complex. The crazy part about that Folsom commercial complex is it's already sold out. I called there actually. They're like, nope, we have no available offices left. So I think that once Roseville has a few of those put in place, West Roseville, yeah, I think it's going to be a game changer. And like I said, Roseville's got the schools. It's got the shopping. I think it's got the first smart store out there. I walked into the Amazon store where they just, you buy stuff and there's no clerk or everything too. I like West Roseville. I think it's great. Dun dun. Disappointed. 38 plus year investor. I know California better than you do too. Better than you too concerning the political, social, and economic aspects of all of the counties. Here's the thing. Hopefully, I'm not trying to put you on blast here, but like, instead of like kind of like saying this, I would love for you to put a comment that's insightful, maybe informative, so people who are watching this channel can read this comment and not only see someone who's being kind of like, I know this, but someone who's actually kind of can throw down a little knowledge so people can learn. I'm never going to be the person who says I know everything about everything. That's just not how I am. But I would love it if there are people who 38 plus year investor. I would love to have your kind of like real estate perspective on the various counties in a nice comment that can educate people. I think education, if people can get it from this channel, that's great. And if it comes from people like you, 38 plus year investor, that's fantastic. But I would say instead of just like blasting a video, I'd say give some insight about your years of investing, what you think of the counties, and give people a little bit of like information. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about educating people. All right, more people are deciding to rent than buy. Why? Sacramento real estate. I rent in Carmichael, a Sacramento suburb. The neighbors are okay. The house across the street has holes in the garage door, and the lawn is dead. Same 2 houses down. Rundown houses, but at least it's quiet. The house 3 houses down is nice, well kept. It was on the market for $600,000 and sold for $580,000. Totally nuts. My girl said what I thought all along. This is not a $600,000 neighborhood. Of course, it was a Bay Area couple who bought it. They have no idea what neighborhood they just bought into. Okay, here's the thing. Guys, if you're from the Bay Area, if you're from wherever else, before you just select an area or just pick a couple houses to look at in the Sacramento area because you want to buy a house, the education piece of the real estate transaction is something that a lot of people don't focus on, but you should. I was on a call with a couple clients earlier today, and I stressed the fact that the first tour we go on is about education. It's all about educating you. It's not about showing you a house. It's not about like all that stuff. It's all about educating you on every aspect of real estate. It's about educating you on areas, communities, giving you a little insight as in like, look around the neighborhood, see your neighbors. These are the people you're going to be living with. Anything in the house you can change. Your neighborhood is everything. The pros and cons of HOAs, not too many pros, but there are some. So education is the biggest piece of the puzzle. So if you're someone coming in from the Bay Area, and let's say you come in and you just pick a realtor and he shows you 3 houses, and that's it, he's not doing his job. He's got to be able to spend time with you, educate you, give you the pros and cons of like why a house all of a sudden is for sale and you're able to jump in there and grab it and no one else is bidding on it. Like, these are the little pieces of the puzzle that a lot of realtors just don't put in the time. Real estate isn't just that. It's not just, hey, I found a house. What do you think? I think it's great. I think you should buy it. No, it's about like, okay, hold on. What is your lifestyle? What are you looking for? Where do you work? Like, have you checked out that area at nighttime, the daytime? Like, what is your thing? About getting a little bit of an insight on who you're working with and trying to help them find a spot that, honestly, they're looking at that home like it's a present that they want to unwrap, and they're excited and they're so pumped for their house. If you can get a person to that point where they're the ones telling you, no, that's the house I want. No, that's what I want. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get my keys for the house. You've done your job right. So I think for anyone coming out here from the Bay Area, I hear this story all the time. I even get a lot of calls from clients who basically are like, you know what? We moved into a Fair Oaks, but we are more East Sacramento folk. Do your research, figure it out, get educated on the areas. Don't make a rush decision because it could definitely cost you. All right. Boom. I was trying to look for a property in Wilton area, but after COVID, that area has doubled and not come down. Getting property is almost untouchable for under 1.2 million. I would say, okay, so if you're looking at that area, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough area. Wilton is exploded. I would say talk to my buddy over there. I have a friend of mine who sells real estate over in the Wilton area too. So if you want to reach out to me, I'll give you her number. And she's really, really good. Wilton's tough though. It has blown up. I would say, 1.2. It depends on what you're looking for as well too. But if you are having trouble, I have a friend of mine out there who sells and he works in that $1 million luxury price range as well too. So just let me know. I can give you a number. Maybe just getting a new realtor, a fresh perspective might work. Unless, of course, I don't want to step on toes. but you got to you got to kind of, like I said, Nikki, for example, is looking for a house. Aaron is looking for a house as well too. And their biggest complaint is that they're just not finding what they're looking for. I think for a lot of those houses, like you said, getting a property under 1.2, I think you just got to I think you can do it. I think, we've worked with a lot of clients who are kind of like in that same boat where they're kind of like, you know what, it's just the market skyrocketed. What I want, it's just not there. I think you just have to kind of like think outside the box a little bit. I know it sounds generic, but it's true. I think the idea is that if you look at an area, let's say, for example, you're in Wilton and you say, these are the 4 areas I really like. These are 4 communities. Then go to Zillow or Redfin and find out the agents who do a lot of home sales there, and you reach out to them and figure out if they have anything coming to the market. You might be able to get a little bit of an insight to if you can get something at 1.2. So that would be my 2 cents. And I wish you the best. And I hate when people say that because it's a pain. I think a lot of people also for the market. I live in Gold River. I think the houses here just blew up as well too. But I think it's doable. I always go through this, like Kathleen said, with a positive attitude. I think anything is possible in real estate. You just have to kind of figure out a way to just kind of make it happen. And I know it sounds, again, I'm using the cliches like crazy tonight, but I do think that there's ways to get this stuff done. I just think that sometimes your traditional real estate ways of just waiting for something to pop up and grabbing it aren't there. And I think at times, it does take putting a postcard in, a mailbox and mailing it out to an area saying that you have a seller looking for a specific house. I think sometimes it does pay off to call realtors that list a lot of homes in certain areas and just plead your case of saying you want something for this. Is there anything coming to the market? I think there is things you can do outside the box to kind of do it. And I'd at least give that a shot. All right. Kathleen, location is everything. True. Location. By the way, guys, one more plug. Like the video. I'd appreciate it. What are we at? Almost an hour. Still going. All right, Kathleen, you have a great positive attitude. I'm digging your good vibes. Thank you. I totally appreciate it. And like I said, guys, Legoland delayed 4 times at the San Diego airport, flew in, got home at 9:30 p.m., and I started going at 6 a.m. So hopefully, if I do a little bit of not knowing a certain community, I apologize. I will be much more on the ball next Wednesday. Today was a rough one. All right. Hello, Mark. Looking for North Sac neighborhood with a 9 or 10 or 10 schools. Any thoughts? Yep. Number 1, go to greatschools.org. This is the best resource for schools. If the schools are what you are interested in, here's what I would do. Just for me, and schools are very, very subjective. I would actually, this is a fun one. Go to Google and go to basically zip codes. Give me my zip codes. Give me all the zip codes in North Sacramento that I'm considering. Boom, boom. One by one, I'd throw them into greatschools.org and I would see which ones have the schools that work for me. And then I would just isolate my search to those areas, communities, or whatever that I liked. I'd reach out to our team, tell us, hey, Mark, we're looking for these specific areas and in the zip code and in these communities. We'll put together a list that basically are, what you're looking for, and then we go for a house tour. But I would say that people don't look at greatschools.org that well. They'll look at it kind of like if they find an address, they'll go there. But you can do a reverse search with zip codes as well too on Great Schools and figure out if a zip code actually even has the schools you're looking for. So that I'd start there. Hopefully that helped. All right, next one. Boom. All right. Boom. Good luck. I'm selling my house. That's me. Cannot sell until rates drop. Easier to fix up a home up to my standards. And that's what we're running into. Honestly, that is what we're running into. We're running into so many people with their 2.75s that are just 6%, 6.5. That just doesn't cut it. And I get it. I feel your pain. All right. Yeah. Just got to keep looking. 800K for 5 acres and a fixer upper in Wilton is what I've been finding. Yeah. And here's the thing, Half-Dad, and hopefully this helps you out a little bit, right? It just takes one house. Just one house. And then all of a sudden it's bizarre. And I go through this with a lot of clients, right? They've been looking for 6 months, 7 months, and they're giving up. And then they found the house and they get the house. and then they get the keys and they forget all about that long, tedious journey. And it does happen. I worked with a great couple that had been looking in Gold River for like the last 7 months. We got beat out once, and I finally got him into a house, and it was an off-market deal, and they're going to be closing in about 4 days. And they literally, on my text, if I go through my text, there's text from them specifically that are like, we're about ready to give up. We don't think we're going to find the house. And they were so in bad shape. And it just took that one house. And now they forgot all about the other houses. They forgot all about like the pain in the butt it was. And they're just focused in on that they found the house, and there you go. And everything changes. And so just understand this. Yeah, the road might not be an easy one, but once you find it, and once you just find that one house, it changes everything. And I wish you the best. And hopefully you do find it. All right, boom. Worst place to live, really? Okay, great information, great info. Thanks for sharing. Lots of investors moving to Sacramento to Roseville. I know, guys, Roseville is hopping with investors. West Roseville, Antelope, there's a lot of investors going to those areas. There's a lot of investors also going to the Rancho area because Kaiser's and Zinfandel, and it's super close to Folsom Ranch. A lot of people love Cahov. A lot of people love Pulte. Yeah, investors are coming. A lot of people are going to Elk Grove as well too. So you're seeing a lot of investors here that, normally what we see is a lot of people coming from other areas. Like, you're like Seattle's, your Bay Area, or Los Angeles coming here and buying investment properties. But what we're seeing now is that Sacramento people, old school, OG Sacramento, they're buying investment properties and they're getting into the game. And I love that. That's awesome. All right, 10 things I wish to know before I moved to Sacramento, California. You can depend on Mark and his group to keep your best interest a priority. I love this. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time and writing those thoughtful comments. It means a lot, especially after a trip to Legoland and I'm beat. All right, who wins? I'll speak to California, but I did this Oregon versus California. I'll speak to California, but living in Oregon State, probably easier, but not sure. Costs might not be so high. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Oregon more pricey than California? I don't think it is. But at the same time, for me, I like the California lifestyle. I love the weather in California. Yes, it does get hot in Sacramento, but I cannot wait to go skiing this year. I'm going to take my daughter up snowboarding. I love the California lifestyle. Wouldn't want it any other way. Okay, who's going on vacation soon? The cost is high for vacation. If you have $1 billion, more like pay for tax bill first. Yeah, if you guys are doing your taxes, pay taxes first, then go on a vacation. Good luck. I'm not selling my house. Exactly. That's the main reason for low inventory. That's why me and the wife are not selling the house. Exactly. A lot of people are sitting on their 2.75s and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. It'll be interesting to see what that magic number is for sellers as well too. I think, like I said, I think we're going to see that magic number where all of a sudden, if interest rates keep dropping, buyer demand is going to go. But I am curious, what is it going to take to get a lot of people who are thinking maybe about selling, but they're okay keeping their 2.75? What does that number look like that's going to get them to sell their home? I'm curious because that's going to be the defining factor in the real estate market going forward. If we can get interest rates low enough to start getting some of that good, really nice inventory hitting the market. All right, good luck. I'm not selling my house. 100% right. No one's selling. Come on. All right, we got some polls. Who loves the food scene in Sacramento? Yes. I absolutely love the food scene in Sacramento. Now, if you're from the Bay Area, you got great food over there too. But I would say one thing about Sacramento. Oh my God, I was at Green Acres looking at all the barbecue grills. I was looking at Costco today, looking at all the stuff I can throw on my barbecue grill. Guys, if you are a grill fanatic, I would say that Sacramento, we're moving up the charts in the barbecue world as well too. For me, it's a barbecue grill and a swimming pool and a resort style life for me. And if that's you and you want that too, come to Sacramento. Now, if you're someone who loves a food scene, you're saying, I still love my foodie scene. Guys, we got food trucks in Sacramento. We got amazing cuisine in Sacramento. You're not going to be missing too much if you come in from the Bay Area. You're not going to be missing too much if you come in from other areas. You will love the food scene here. You might have to drive a little bit to get to some these good spots, but they're definitely worth the drive. Even one of my favorite spots, Co-op. Co-op is a place where they have old school video games. It's downtown Sacramento, beer, pizza, and a fun old time. So it's a good time here in Sacramento. All right. 11 people caught unlicensed contractors staying in Elk Grove. Guys, if you are doing, if you've worked with our team, if you've not, whatever, if you are working with anybody, a landscape contractor, whatever you're working with, make sure they're licensed, okay? Because they have a bond, and if for some reason there's a dispute, the money comes out of their bond. You just want to verify this straight up, because there are a lot of people who are doing work right now that are unlicensed, and just make sure before you work with anyone that is doing contracting on your beautiful new home or your landscape in your backyard, make sure they're licensed. All right. Who just bought the first home in Sacramento? Yes. No. 48%. I'll take that. I love it. Congratulations to you guys. Welcome to Sacramento. Hopefully you guys enjoy your home. Hopefully you guys have a bunch of new memories in your home. And if you're investors, hopefully you get some good ROI ROI on them, and hopefully the appreciation is high. All right. Where would you rather live? Placer or Sacramento County? Placer County beats Sacramento County. This is very interesting. I think it's neck and neck, but like I said in the video, that I think both are amazing. I think West Roseville, I think you guys are going to see some monster appreciation going forward. I think Folsom Ranch right now, there are certain select communities that I love, like Tri-Point. I think that that's a great community, but I think right now you're not seeing a lot of, other than like, I think Toll Brothers, their new community preserve, I don't want to say it's hurting a little bit, but I think it might be. So stay tuned for new communities popping up in Folsom Ranch. But I think West Roseville, I still think the bang for your buck is phenomenal there. I think in Lincoln as well too. So there are some good spots. Boom. Well, interest rates continue to drop next week. And this was last week. And you guys are right. It is dropping. This weekend should be a bit cooler. Who's ready for this? Yes. Okay. I'm with you guys. I am so ready for a little bit cooler weather, but I got bad news. I'm hearing that we're going back up to 3 digits this weekend. So if you are coming out to look for homes, bring water and make sure your AC is working in your car. Now, if you are a homeowner, during this week, I will say this. If for some reason your AC is giving you a little bit of a problem, or it's just not working the way it should be, this is your moment to kind of get that thing fixed before the long weekend hits and we're back in the 3 digits. Who wins? California, Oregon. California, 90%. I got to vote on that one as well, too. Give it to Cali. Who loves living near Lake Tahoe? Yes, 71%. Guys, even if you don't go to Lake Tahoe that much, it's still nice. And it's still nice if you end up selling your home and moving, like, let's say, somewhere else. Tahoe is definitely one of those big selling points of people who move to Sacramento. Boom. All right, I think that is it for the evening. Guys, okay, look, I haven't forgot about East Ridge, and I will put a comment on this video afterwards specifically once I just dissect it a little bit, I promise. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this broadcast, and like I said, still a little tired from Legoland, but I want to be one of those people who, if I tell you I'm going live, and that's all there is to it. Like I said, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the broadcast. I've enjoyed you guys spending time with you guys. And thank you very much for taking the time to basically ask your questions, to listen to this broadcast. And if you are thinking about making the move to the Sacramento area, reach out to our team. We would love to absolutely work with you, talk to you and educate you about the Sacramento area. This is a vital piece of the puzzle before you decide to buy a house here. And if you're thinking about listing your house in the Sacramento area, we've had great success with our marketing. There's not a team, there's not a realtor that markets like we do. We have the largest YouTube channel in all the Sacramento area, and we market all our houses here. 8 houses sold on YouTube, and we're going for number 9. It could be yours. Salute to you too. All right, guys, enjoy your evening. I am out of here. And if you have any further questions about this broadcast, comment below. We answer all comments. Until next time, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Guess what, guys? The video just ended. But don't worry, we have more videos just like that one right over there. And if you missed that red subscribe button during the course of the video, we got you covered right there. Hit that subscribe button. We promise to bring you some amazing content. We won't let you down. Now, if you're looking for a team in the Sacramento metro area to work with, we'd love to talk to you one-on-one. We always include a Zoom link down below, so book a time where we can talk to you a little one-on-one, find out exactly what your real estate needs are.